Stop making that face. Today on our show, we'll be talking to
We can't
Erin
hear you, man.
from the Quilters Guild. And
The Lollipop
she'll
Guild?
be showing us a double loop stringback knot that she picked up while traveling in Uganda.
Look at that bird.
We're on.
No, it's pecking. Look at it
Looking
peck.
for them worms, like you picking for a worm.
No, I should have woke up early, huh?
I know.
Early bird gets that worm.
Gets worm.
Okay.
Okay, so we haven't done a video in a long time. This is actually our third or fourth incarnation of this video because every time we start it, we fuck it all up.
You know why?
Happens.
Because we talk way too much about. We go off on tangents.
We go on tangents like Dirty Birds and Uganda.
And then it turns
And
into like a 20-minute
our sponsor,
video.
Diet Coke,
And we're
just for the taste
we
of
just
it.
want to talk about how to get in a nursing school.
One of the biggest things that I've said already 3 times before is that like the biggest question people have is like, oh, I want to be a nurse. Are you sure you want to be a nurse? Why do you want to be a nurse? Do you know what a nurse does?
They're all,
Because we
I
believe.
want to help people.
No, you don't. You want to make money.
Don't lie.
Now, you know what? It's surprising. We've been in the job for a very, very long time in this job, and we've learned so many things that we didn't know nurses did.
Yeah.
Like, not just in the hospital, but job openings
Oh,
places
yeah.
and stuff. Like, different places you can work. You don't just work in a hospital or a clinic.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, we were
You
talking
always
about...
have a job somewhere you go.
Yes, there's always something. There's always something. So, it's like, at first we were like, oh, I wouldn't want that person taking care of me. You know, people, classmates, and then we're like, I don't think they're going to go into health.
Yeah.
They're patient care. I think they're going to go work in an office. So, okay, I'm cool with that then. So,
Someone's coming in hot.
we put in a list
Oh,
of, you want to kill the unit? I think the vibration kills it. So,
Oh, that's that. Cardiac arrest.
yeah, there's a code going on in progress. Code in progress, code blue, ED, code blue. So we put together a very short list. So, number 1, pick out your school. We have the that's our list. We're like, we've done it several
We
times.
got our fancy stationery.
And you know, there's a booger on there. Like, so again, Diet Coke, we could use a little bit more funding. We're professionals. That's how we roll. Well, it's either that or a glove.
Give him a close
Give me a
up
close
of
up.
this.
Close up. There's a booger.
Look.
So-
I thought it said applesauce at the end.
String beans. This is
Fine pork.
Yeah, I forgot what school. We have about 6 schools within driving distance of us that we could attend to, from anywhere from UCs, junior colleges, to private paid institution where you pay. One school locally is like $54,000 to get your nurse degree. And in case you don't know, yeah, 54,000. It used to be 52,
man.
54 now. 54,000 for it's a loan you are going to take a very long time to pay off, and
Is it worth it?
that to me is not like if there was no other
But I
option.
guess it's like a guarantee into the program.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you get
You
shitty
just-
grades, then I
their
guess
major
that
prerequisite is to
might...
be able to sign the check legibly
Yeah.
and it not bounce. So you know, but be careful, man, because it's like that's a lot. Talk to people. There is a lot, and a lot of times those programs are. I think you technically get a degree, but it doesn't qualify. So if you qualify for anything else, so if you want to move on, get your bachelor's, go to nurse practitioner school, whatever. You start from scratch because those units do not carry over anywhere. They are not accepted. There are very few schools that they allow pay schools units to carry over. So, Pew? Yeah.
Okay, so then you find your place.
Find your place. Check on their
place,
website. Yeah, check on their website. Don't start calling these schools up because they really get annoyed by all the questions. Like, the first thing they will say, they will refer you to the website. They're like, oh, it's all on the website because they
And don't
get
skim, like read
it. Like really read it, because one of the trick is, I know we'll talk about this at the end when putting your applications. They want to know that you're not lazy or stupid and that you can comprehend basic instructions. So really read what they want. So most of the time it'll tell you what you need. So you need prerequisites. And the big thing that they say is, oh, you need anatomy, physiology, micro. Some require chemistry, some require this. But to get into those classes, you need prerequisites. So you need to take your math. Get down, man. Carnival music. You need to take your math, English.
Just your general ed.
General ed to get into those classes. And,
Get good grades. And
Gotta
you know
get
what?
good
If
grades.
you don't get good grades, because, okay, you got to get A's in those sciences. If you don't, you got to score high on your TEAS test, at least a 90. And a T's test, go for it.
Okay, so when you do your prerequisites, they look at your grades, and mostly they check those 3 grades that say, oh, you. And what happens is a lot of programs are merit based, meaning which you qualify with points. So if you first generation, you get maybe like 1 or 2 points. It's electric. That's why. See, it's an Avalon. So you get so many points for this. You get so many points if you have a 4.0 GPA. If you have 3.5 GPA, you get so many points. If you speak another Spanish, as opposed to the regular one.
You know, there's a multiple dialects.
There is. So if you speak more than one language, you get points. If you went to their school to do their prerequisites there, you get points. There's like all kinds of points. So basically they'll say, oh, you can get up to 100 points.
Why don't you just go through the fucking stop sign?
What a loser. And other programs were like, okay, as long as you pass the classes, the prerequisites, you qualified to be put into a lottery type system. Which is sucky because, you know, and I
bust our asses off. We get A's. And then Smo Joe, or Joe Blow, whatever you want to say, will have C's. And then they could get picked before you. Yeah. Just the luck of the draw, man.
A lot of states are getting away from that because it's not fair. You know, it's not merit-based. You didn't earn your spot. You lucked out and bullshitted your way in. So get those good grades. Don't be just like, if you're not mature enough to realize that you need to succeed,
you don't need to
be a nurse, man. You don't need to, because you're responsible for people's lives. Like, you don't just follow directions. It's a lot of like thinking on your feet. So make sure you get those things. So the next thing is your T's test. Once you got your prerequisites, they say you T's test. And T's, I don't know what the hell it means. But essentially, it is a mini SAT test that takes 4 hours.
Did you spell it T-E-A-S?
I didn't know. I just knew everybody calls it a T's test, so I don't know.
T-E-A-S. And then, I don't know, you guys can
usually
look it up
through
yourself.
A-T-I, I know, I spell that. And you go and you sign up for, and a lot of places that provide a program will have a spot. Like, you got to take yours locally. Mm-hmm. I had to drive 3 hours north to take mine.
I would say set it up like a month in advance, so then you can get a spot. And I don't even remember how much that cost.
Like $100 and something bucks.
Dang!
I don't remember.
Okay, it was expensive, but it's a 4-hour test. It's like some people will just blow through it because they're smart. They're good test takers. And some of them will take the whole 4 hours. And when I took mine, I had just gotten off. No, I was still at work. I was doing my 36, and I actually had asked to have that block off, like a few hours off to take it. And I was exhausted. But somehow I managed, I think it was a 72.
You got 79.
No,
you got high because I got an 85 or 84. Chris got like an 89. And you got like a 79. Like, you came in just below me.
Yeah.
So it is just a little. It's basic knowledge that you should have picked up, at least in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it is like very simple math. It is English comprehension.
Yeah, they did some biology stuff.
There
like
is
Earth
some
science.
Earth, it even calls
like
it Earth
the
science.
Stratosphere. And some kind of cloud formation.
Yeah. Is this a stratus, cumulus, or nimbus?
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, they ask you like random questions. They just want to see. It's a lot of random, and it does nothing to pertain exactly to nursing. It is like, this guy listened, or girl, listened throughout school and kind of knows. And then we'll pick a random word, because yours was cacophony, to say, what does this word mean? And you get 5 choices of what it means.
It's like, I don't fucking know. So, do I? I don't speak good English. And English was it's my only language.
That and potty mouth.
Yeah, sailor.
That and drunken slur. So the national average is about 55%.
Lies,
so if you think
62.
About it, no, national was 55.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, maybe it was. I didn't know. I didn't think it was. It was in the 50s.
Oh,
because they said you have to get a
62
or 65.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the average was like. So if you think about it, the national across the board, like, most people do not do well on this test. So they require at least a 65. Which, come on, man, that's not that hard to get. The higher you get, though, the more points you get. So there are you can get on.
You can purchase to help you.
And they're not like it's this big old SAT book. It is a pamphlet. They kind of gives you like.
It's not. Mine was big.
Oh, I don't know. Mine was only like freaking nothing.
I think I still have it, but they changed the.
They change it every so often. So it's like T6, T5,
mine was 5.
Yeah. So do well on that T's test because it shows up. Like, they're like, oh my god, look at this guy's like smart. They may not have done well in school, but that test you can't bullshit around, and like you you can get through.
Experience helps too. Gives you points plus a little bit of a background. And if you don't have any medical experience, I suggest you doing the EMT or CNA. I don't know.
A lot of these classes are like 1 semester, so it's like it may benefit you to volunteer somewhere and.
Looks good too.
Yeah, because then you know the language.
You get to see a variety of people and. Like, start looking at people's skin, like their feet. Look at their fingernails. Fingernails can tell you a lot. Like, you don't think about it. It can kind of tell you where you've been. Because, like, we pick up, transients is, like, the proper word. And, like, you
urban campers.
You look at their fingernails and you're like, ooh.
Oh, this guy's got...
okay, this is a rough life. And then just...
Ask questions. If you know someone's a nurse, ask questions, you know. But it won't... You're better off getting a job somewhere, learning the language, learning the terminology,
getting comfortable because
it's
other medical.
Listening to people interview for medical stuff, because there's a lot of learning how to ask questions, learning how to communicate with your patients. There's a lot of stuff, but they really like just basically seeing that you have some experience. It goes a long way, and you get points towards that. Yeah. So strutting, not as good as the guy in LA. What was the next thing? Find people. Oh, find people that are in the class.
Oh.
Find people in the class. Get on Facebook and see if, like, most classes, like, oh, this is the class of 2018. Get on there and find people to talk with. Be like, hey, and most nursing students
are very helpful.
Be like, yeah, dude, we'll help you out because somebody probably helped us. So there's a lot of us.
Information. Yeah. Create a Google Doc.
That everybody
save you.
Yeah, because it will.
You can store all your stuff on it and refer back to it, and then you can add people. And like if you have like a study guide, then you can just all work together. So you're not
make your own library of stuff.
Yeah. Heck yes.
We almost saw somebody get eaten on a skateboard right now.
Come on,
do it.
He's all, I got.
So yeah, just talk to people, find out, make sure it's what you really want. That you know what that school you're going to. Your application, one of the most important thing, the most stressful thing, leading up to it, because our website was like, okay, go here and print this up. So you print it up, and some of the directions weren't 100% clear. So it would say things like a 2-step TB test.
Oh, what in the world is that?
And now we know because we just learned about it like a couple months ago. But there was like, it would say 2. Now, anybody that common knowledge would be like, a TB test has 2 steps to it. One day you go and get the injection. 2 days later on, they go and they read it. There's 2 steps to that. It is not. It means 2-step means you get it done. You wait a week, get it done again. There's things like that, and they don't like being asked those questions. When you call, they're like, oh, you're too stupid to know that. I guess so. But make sure you fill it out properly. Because if it's not filled out, they open it up, something's missing, they go, boop, next. Because they assume that you don't have, either you don't care enough, or you don't have the brains to fill out that paperwork properly. So make sure you go through the application. Get it done as soon as possible. Keep everything in a big manila envelope. Go over it. Fill it out. Set it aside, look at it 2 days later, have somebody else look at it and see what's going on.
Oh, yeah, me and him, we swapped.
She's like, what do you think about this? Taking pictures of, is this right? Is this how you do it? Ask video, because they don't set up their website. Like the people that teach the class don't set up. They give their information to some IT person and they set up the website. So there's no, it's not meant to make sense. But, just make sure you have it. We got in. And then you wait like 3 months. And you wait for that letter and you get a stomach ulcer, like waiting for that letter that, that big envelope that says, oh, here. Or that little envelope that says, you suck, try again, But,
and then our seat numbers.
You get seat numbers. You get like, this is your spot. This is,
so before. What, like, your ranking, right?
Yeah.
How you came in? Yeah. I think I was, 17 and you were 16?
I was like, yes, I'm 1 point smarter than you. And then one guy that we know is like, I got like 8, 10. I know, shut up. And so, yeah, it was you get your placement. And if you don't get in, sometimes they'll say, look, you're on the waiting list. And there are people that drop out at the last minute.
Applied at multiple schools.
Yeah, and they'll be like, oh, no. So don't completely give up hope. Don't like.
If you're on the alternate seat, go to your orientation.
Yeah, go to it anyways. Because all of a sudden, we had a couple that were like, okay, you guys are probably in. You're probably in. Wasn't there like 2 or 3 people?
Yeah,
that were
I
like,
think so.
They're like, you're probably in. You showed up, so you're in. And they always tell people, if you get in. if you don't think you're gonna make it, if you don't, tell somebody right away, man. Like, go, let them know. Like, look, I'm probably not gonna attend. Give somebody else. Don't be that dick that waits. Because we had one person that didn't say anything till the day before class.
Yeah, that was messed up.
And it was like, are you serious? Like, what a jerk.
Who does that?
Yeah.
That person.
So, yeah, you know, like, make sure you do it. So, I think this is the basics of how to get into nursing school.
If you have any questions, ask.
Yeah, ask us questions. We're usually pretty good about responding. But let us know.
I'm not in charge of that.
Like and
it's
subscribe.
all you.
I know. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. So yeah, sorry it's so long.
People.
Thank you, you too.